It's 1914. That means something big is about to happen. Something colossal is about to happen. Because it is World War One. The Industrial Revolution just occurred, which means aircraft and weapons are way more advanced than what they used to be. Anyway, back to the war. This guy, Gavrilo Princip, shot dead Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austrian throne, because he was a Slav and he wanted to set Serbia free from Austro-Hungarian rule. Austria-Hungary was annoyed about this, so they send a big list of impossible demands to Serbia, and when Serbia says no, they declare war. Now, Austria-Hungary is protected by Germany, and Serbia is friends with Russia, who are friends with France, who are friends with Britain. Britain's side is called the Triple Entente, and Germany's side is called the Central Powers. Anyway, they all declare war on each other. So, Germany has a plan, the Schlieffen Plan. They know that Russia's big, so it'll take a lot of time to get ready. So they'll send all their troops into France at devastating speed, and then they'll go back to Russia. One problem, France has a lot of defences along its border, so they'll go through neutral Belgium. They think Belgium will just sit down and shut up, but they don't. They fight back, and they're pretty good, so they slow the Germans down. What's worse is that Britain comes in. Russia's ready for war, way earlier than Germany expected. Hey, Austria-Hungary, can you get on top of that? Oh yeah, sure, we got this. Nope. So Germany has to send some troops back to Russia to defend. And in the later battle at the Western Front, a gap opens up in the German lines. So they retreat and dig in. The Allies do the same. Here's how trench warfare works. There are two lines of trenches. They're opposing, by the way. They're opposite sides. And there's no man's land in between. A muddy, wet mass of barbed wire, mud, and pickets. And one side will rush across no man's land to try to take the enemy trench. The enemies will release machine gun fire on them, inflicting hundreds of thousands of casualties. They'll send wave after wave until they either give up or the opposing trench is overrun. So Serbia is doing really well against Austria-Hungary. They defend all of their invasion attempts. Oh, and there's Italy. Italy's important. See, Italy was friends with Germany and Austria-Hungary before the war, but after tense relations, they jumped over to the Allies. So they opened up a front in the mountains, but they were in stalemate most of the war again. Oh wow, it's 1915, that means things are about to get crazy. The Ottoman Empire was exhausted by the recent Balkan War. Some people wanted to go to war and some people didn't. So the people that did went and fired some shells at Russia, came back and said, whoops, looks like we're at war now. This angered Britain because near Turkey there were a lot of oil fields and Britain wanted all of that oil. They want money. So Britain sends an army over there, but they get seized. Something had to be done. It was around the same time when Germany sent some spies into Afghanistan, which is kind of near India, to try to convince British India to declare war on Britain. But the German spies got bored with it, got drunk, and I'll tell you, it's a bad thing to do in Afghanistan. So anyway, the Allies needed Turkey. There was a naval strategy, but there were mines laying in the water, and Turks firing at them. That forced the Gallipoli landings to happen. The Allies, most famously the Anzacs, went and landed at Gallipoli, a place where the Turks were on top of them, and the flies were devastating, so it stunk. They're in trench warfare a lot of the war as well. Oh wow, it's 1916, if that means things were about to get crazy on the Western Front. There are three major battles that I'm going to note about 1916. The Somme, the Battle of Verdun, and the Battle of Jutland. At the Somme, the British went over the top and had hundreds of thousands of casualties inflicted upon them. The same with Verdun. But Jutland was different. Britain and Germany had really huge navies, and they had these new ships called dreadnoughts, which were so big that they needed a lot of money to use. So they didn't use them until one time at Jutland, when they sent their ships out, damaged a bunch of them. So that didn't happen again for the rest of the war. Oh wow, it's 1917 already. Neither side wanted a long, grueling war. They wanted the war to be quick, and they knew it would be about wearing each other down. But the question was, who was going to break first? And the answer was Russia. because Russia was spending a lot of supplies on the Eastern Front, the civilians of Russia wanted more food, and that led to a full-scale revolution where Tsar Nicholas's family were executed. Anyway, an American ship was cruising along when a German submarine blew it up. That angered the Americans, and so Germany sent a letter to Mexico saying, "Could you declare war on America?" The British intercept it, show it to America, and they declare war. Since Russia's not at war, the Germans send all efforts to the Western Front. This is 1918, by the way. Oh, and it's worth pointing out that Serbia surrendered a bit earlier. So Germans try to advance, and they do pretty well. But the Allies stop retreating, and they start the Spring Offensive, which was it. They pushed the Germans back, and then on the 11th at 11 a.m., 1918, Germany surrendered.